to the track, led by their team manager, Team Poland. Team Australia. And last but certainly not least, led by their team manager, Team Great Britain. Tonight for the U21 World Championship final here at National Speedway Stadium. Before we do get underway, please all be upstanding for the national anthem of Great Britain.
Yes, I certainly am, Neil. What a night of racing we have in store here at Manchester's National Speedway Stadium. Adrian Smith, the rival of World U21 presenting the rivals and the team managers with their medals tonight. Australia, Great Britain, Poland and Denmark all vying for the top step of the podium. Team Poland, the reigning champions, looking to extend their trophy cabinets here in Manchester. Great British teams, they got bronze last year, looking to go one better this season. Australia and Denmark looking extremely impressive in their semi-finals and have earned their spots here in Manchester tonight. The boys will be pushing off in a few moments' time, after which we'll be cracking on with heat number 1.
Victor Lampard, the winner, Jordan Stewart second, Frederick Jacobsen third, Poland on to 20, Denmark on 11, Great Britain 10, Australia on 7. Heat number 9 sees Great Britain use the tactical Joe Joker, Robert Lambert, replaces Kyle Bickley. He goes off the inside gate in blue. Any points he scores are doubled. One tactical Joker available per team if you are 8 points or more behind the leading nation. You can do subsequent tactical substitutes. So, for example, Dan Bewley, who you might expect later in the meeting potentially to take an additional ride in the tactical substitute, it wouldn't be doubled, but you can do that. This is the big one as far as Great Britain are concerned. Robert Lambert going for double as the Joker in blue. Let's have a look at the opposition. Jonas Jeppesen riding in red alongside him on gate 2. Dominic Kubera, and don't forget that Lambert had a big scrap with Kubera in his previous ride. Got around him on the second lap in the end. Kubera is in white this time, and he's in white off gate 3 this time. And Jamin Lindsay goes in yellow off the outside. And he, of course, is the Australian's best rider. So always hard to know when you're going to put your Joker in, but certainly the discussions we were having up here on the gantry during the grading break were that we thought that Neil Butcher would make the move in this race, and that is what's turned out to happen. Robert Lambert off the inside there, going for double here for Great Britain. A really crucial race in their back to start with Denmark. Lambert's got the gate there. Kubera's switching back quickly to the inside. Lambert's going wide, but Kubera's got the lead. Lambert with great speed around the outside. Lambert stalls to the front of the race. Big scrap on for third place with Jamin Lindsay going wide, but Robert Lambert here has the advantage. Dominic Kubera in front, and Lindsay goes on the inside there. And Jeppesen, Denmark might go to the back. Jeppesen going around the outside for third place once again. They got mighty close to Dominic Kubera on 3 and 4. Jonas Jeppesen, can he hold that round the third and fourth? Then he might lose out to Lindsay. He does. Lindsay going through the third. Different lines being taken. Lindsay giving Jeppesen a hard line, and Jeppesen gets back round the outside. Lindsay again comes on to come through. All over third place here with Robert Lambert trying to back a big 6 as far as Great Britain are concerned. He's got the front over Kubera. Still back away to third and fourth. This time Jeppesen drops all over in front of Jamin Lindsay, and should get the point there for Denmark, but it should be all 6 here for Great Britain. Robert Lambert, superb once again. Lambert wins it over Dominic Kubera. Third place of Jonas Jeppesen with Jamin Lindsay at the back. 6 points for Great Britain in Heat 9. That's what you want from the Joker, and that's what Robert Lambert's given them. The under-21 British champion, the reigning British champion, and a big weekend to come for him in Germany, in Güstrow, tomorrow in the European Championship, but doing his bit for Great Britain under-21 tonight. And Robert Lambert takes 6 points on the Joker ride in Heat 9. Had to do it from the back. Dominic Kubera, a very clever switch there on the inside as he turned back on turns 1 and 2, but Lambert had the pace to get around him on the back straight into bends 3 and 4, and Lambert takes 6 points for Great Britain with Kubera in second place. He takes 2 points there for Poland. Big scrap it was indeed for third place between Jeppesen and Lindsay, and Jeppesen got it for the point for Denmark. where the riders make their way on track for Heat 1 of the FIM World U21 Team Championship final here in Manchester, and we look forward to a perfect night of racing. Conditions are terrific here, and we have some very, very talented youngsters indeed on track. Should be a fantastic night of action as Poland look to win the competition for a 6th successive season. They do start as standout favourites, but Great Britain, who were bronze medalists last season, they're trying to go at least one better, and there's some talented riders from both Denmark and Australia in the meeting as well. The referee is Giuseppe Grandi from Italy, and he has put the riders on 2 minutes for the opening race. Robert Lambert going out in Heat 1 for Great Britain. A bit of bike work has been done, a bike switch in fact, and there were some issues in practice where Lambert blew an engine earlier on today, and so clearly still not quite happy because the Great Britain captain in blue is heading back towards the pits gate once more, with the 2 minutes counting down to 50 seconds remaining. At the start line are the other 3 riders. Now we'll be seeing Denmark in red throughout the meeting, with Jonas Jeppesen going in this one for Denmark, Robert Lambert in blue for Great Britain. They'll be in blue throughout the evening. Poland will be in white, and they're represented by Bartosz Smektala, the defending World Under-21 individual champion. He'll be in white in Heat 1, and Jordan Stewart goes in yellow for Australia. Robert Lambert still having worked on the bike with some 25 seconds to go, and of course keep in mind in the FIM event he has to be at taped and ready to go when the clock counts down, and that clock is counting down to 15 seconds as Lambert makes his way around, so there's not too much time here ahead of this opening race, and he's clearly not happy with the situation. He's going to have to come straight into line, but the time is down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 now, and Lambert will come into line, and that is as close as it gets. Referee, I think, feeling rather generous. Smektala on the inside, Lambert on gate 2, Jeppesen gate 3, Stewart gate 4. Here we go with Heat 1 in Manchester. Edging the start, movement by Smektala, and Lambert into the tape, and that's a nightmare start as far as Great Britain are concerned, because Robert Lambert appeared to be the one who touched. It was certainly a messy start. The tapes were held, and Bartosz Smektala was jumping on the inside, but Robert Lambert was the one who was in the tapes, it would appear, and with the bike issues before the race, and then that happening under green light conditions with the race about to go, that is not the start. It's a warning for the rider in white, Bartosz Smektala, and it's all 4 back. It's all 4 back. So Smektala is warned for his movement. That's highly unusual, because normally you would see that the warning for Smektala is fair enough. He was certainly moving, but there's no doubt that Great Britain have got away with one there, because Robert Lambert was in the tapes, and that would normally constitute exclusion, no question about that. So a big talking point in the very first race here, with the referee electing to just warn Smektala and not issue a disqualification. So Lambert somewhat fortunate there, bearing in mind he was late to the start and actually missed it by a second or so, judging by the clock on the centre green, and then that messy start, and he's going to get to go again with all 4. So the referee Giuseppe Grandi making his call, and the riders have all made their way back to the pits gate whilst the tapes are repaired here at the start line. That is just about being completed now, so we'll have them back on very shortly, but that's certainly a let off for Great Britain, and more work being done on Lambert's machine. I mentioned he blew an engine in practice. There was a second engine, or an extra engine, delivered during the afternoon that was being bolted in. He was racing last night at Swindon for Kings Lynn, scored 13 points there. He's racing tomorrow in Germany in the first round of the Speedway Euro Championship at Güstrow, a meeting that Bartosz Smektala is also in. It's a hectic schedule. Some of these riders also involved in the Speedway of Nations in Russia next weekend. So hectic times in midsummer, and the 2 minute warning is now back on for the rerun of heat number 1. Jordan Stewart is the first one to make his way around the back straight, rides for the Red Car Bears in the Championship in the UK, and has been making some waves this season. I know he's been interesting a couple of Premiership promoters too. Obviously there is quite often a visa issue with the Australians if they want to double up, if they want to add to their visa, if you like, during the season, but he's certainly a rider who's been attracting attention. Bartosz Smektala and Robert Lambert, 2 of the top 3 in last year's individual Championship. They are on the inside two gates. And Fredrik Jakobsen, very much a mainstay of this Danish side. Several of the Danes have got decent experience in this competition. And Jakobsen, who rode for Poole in the second half of last season in the UK, he is in red. So just to repeat the colours for throughout the evening, we're racing on effectively the old World Cup format here tonight. Jokers and subs could come into play when you're 8 or more points down, but Jeppesen will ride on the on the gate 3, I should say, in red, so Denmark in red. Robert Lambert in blue off gate 2 for Great Britain. Bartosz Smektala in white for Poland off the inside. And Jordan Stewart in yellow off the outside, just asking for the green light to be flashed. Just confirmation there. So let's hope that we get them away properly in this restart of Heat 1. 20 heats, the first 16 are all programmed, and then in the old World Cup style, the managers they get to select, and the team at the bottom of the standings after Heat 16, and they select their riders first for the final 4. That's somewhere to go yet though before that. This is the restart of Heat 1. Smektala into Lambert 2, Jeppesen 3, Stewart the outside, this time then away. Bartosz Smektala makes the gate in front of Robert Lambert. Jordan Stewart in yellow goes into third place ahead of Jakobsen, but it's Smektala out in front. Lambert of course won his title here, his national title here last season, and he's trying to move through on the inside, but Bartosz Smektala has the advantage. Strap on for third as Jakobsen moves down the inside. Jordan Stewart takes third there for Denmark. The battle though is all out front with Bartosz Smektala in front of Lambert. Lambert's quicker than Smektala here, looking for lines, looking for options, looking to move through on the inside. Smektala still racing. Lambert trying to move him aside going into the... looking at it here. Robert Lambert right at the rear wheel of Bartosz Smektala as he again tries to force his way through on the inside. So far the Pole is riding a perfect defensive race. He won't move off that line there on turns 3 and 4. Lambert tried to force his way through. 1 lap to go. Jakobsen in third place. Stewart at the back. Now Lambert's going for the outside on turns 1 and 2, but Smektala again holds a decent line. Lambert could try a dive bomb here into 3 and 4. He's closed down though by Bartosz Smektala, and the Pole should win the opener. Lambert coming to finish late. Smektala wins this. Bartosz Smektala over Robert Lambert with Jeppesen in third place and Stewart at the back. The defending champions start with a victory. Bartosz Smektala had to ride defensively throughout that first race. Lambert didn't quite make the gate with him, and Smektala had to ride 4 defensive laps there. Lambert trying inside for much of it, went outside on the last lap, then tried to cut back on the back straight, didn't quite work. He was closed off by the defending individual champion Bartosz Smektala, and Smektala gives Poland 3 points in the opening race here in Manchester. Smektala the winner of Heat 1. It's second place for Lambert, it's third for Jeppesen, and that is 3 points for Poland in the opening race.
Jeppesen scoring 1 point. Moving on to heat number 2, riding in red, Mads Hansen. In blue, home favourite Dan Bewley. In white, for Poland, Victor Lampard. And yellow, home favourites game, Jamie Lindsay. That's your line of heat number 2, the riders already under the 2-minute warning.
So a win for Bartosz Smektala in the opening race, 3 points for Poland, second place for Robert Lambert for Great Britain, third place for Jonas Jeppesen, and Jordan Stewart out the back. Heat number 2 sees Mads Hansen riding for Denmark in red off gate number 2. It's Dan Bewley, the home rider, in blue off the inside for Great Britain. Victor Lampard, the youngest member of the Polish side, 18 years of age, in white off the outside gate. And Jamie Lindsay, also a home rider, Bellevue in the Premiership. He's in yellow off gate number 3. 3 points for Poland from the opening race, 2 for Great Britain, 1 for Denmark, and nothing for Australia in the open-up. And we're up to tapes for Heat 2. Dan Bewley off the inside gate. So GB had gate 2 in the open-up with Lambert. Now I hope that Bewley off the inside can make it stick here. They have put their 2 bigger guns, if you like, or their 2 most experienced riders at this level. They are in the opening 2 races. Lambert second to Smektala in the first race. What can Bewley do here against Mads Hansen, who was really impressive in the Denmark qualifier a few weeks ago? we go with heat number 2. By Trev, and away they go. Even play continuing to come off the inside. Dan Bewley has the advantage here for Great Britain. Flying around the outside is Belle teammate Jamin Lindsay, who's in the second place. It's Lampard battling for third place, trying to go around the outside. Lampard battling with Matt Hansen. Hansen gets the third place. Bewley takes the running for Great Britain. Bewley over Lindsay with Hansen in third, and Lampard, who scored double figures in Lublin 3 weeks ago in the first round of the individual series, out the back at the moment as they come to complete lap 2. Dan Bewley out in front of Jamin Lindsay. Out in front, and Bewley looking good from the inside, just made the drop and has controlled the race so far. Bewley from Lindsay, third place now comfortably with Matt Hansen, and Victor Lampard is at the back as they come to start the last lap. It's still Dan Bewley with the lead. Will take Great Britain on to 5 points, and he managed to make it through. Lampard coming back in to make a challenge for third on Hansen. Hansen should maintain that third place for now. Round turns 3 and 4 they come, and Dan Bewley will win heat 2. Second place is Lindsay, and the third spot does go to Matt Hansen there over Victor Lampard. So a good one for Great Britain in heat 2. They get their first win of the meeting. It's Dan Bewley who gets it up on one wheel on the back straight to celebrate the victory, and crucially as far as the meeting is concerned, Victor Lampard for Poland running a last place. So the win for Bartosz Mektala in heat 1 not backed up by Victor Lampard, but Bewley puts a big 3 points on the board. As far as Great Britain are concerned, Lindsay gets Australia started with 2. Denmark get another third place. So a win for Dan Bewley. Second place for Jamin Lindsay. Third, Mads Hansen. And Great Britain lead the leaderboard with 5 points. Poland on 3.
Third in red, Mads Hansen scoring 1 point. Moving on to heat number 3. Running in red for Denmark, Patrick Hansen. In blue, Kyle Belle. And in yellow for Australia, Matthew Gilmore. That's your lineup for heat number 3.
So Bewley winning heat 2 from Lindsay with Hansen in third place. Lampard at the back and Great Britain on 5, Poland on 3, Denmark and Australia both on 2. Moving on to heat 3 with 1 minute remaining on the clock, and work being done on the machine of Kyle Bickley, who's the rider in blue for Great Britain here on his home track in the, as far as National League racing is concerned. Doing well in the Championship 2 with Glasgow this year. So Bickley is the Great Britain rider. Across the rest of the lineup, it's Patrick Hansen riding in red. Again, very experienced at this level as far as the Danes are concerned. And Patrick Hansen scored a 12-point maximum in the qualifier in Vetlanda for the Danes. Maxim Drabik rides in white off gate 2, very much an all-star rider as far as the polls are concerned, the 2017 Under-21 World Champion, and scored a straight 15 in Lublin 3 weeks ago before going out in the semi-finals. And the Australian rider is Matthew Gilmore. He did well too, scored double figures in their semi-final where they qualified as the best runners-up. Here we go with heat number 3, and where they go, Drabik off gate 2 makes quite a good moment. In fact, it's Patrick Hansen who's won the race to bend 1. Hansen gets the advantage with Drabik trying to pick up speed. Drabik goes flying around the outside. Plenty of Polish fans here enjoyed that move. Maxim Drabik has the speed round turns 3 and 4, and Drabik has the advantage over third place Matthew Gilmore, and Kyle Bickley trying to hit back on the inside as they go round turns 1 and 2 for the second time. But Maxim Drabik already stamping clear authority on the meeting here in race number 3. Didn't quite make the start. It was a good start by Patrick Hansen. Hansen now on the top threat by Gilmore, who's not inexperienced but is certainly giving it a go here. In third place, the rider in yellow, Gilmore for Australia. Kyle Bickley at this stage can't get a challenging blow in. Drabik riding clearly wider than we've seen so far tonight. He's finding the pace and the speed. He's gone to his final lap. It's Hansen in second place, Gilmore in third, and this will be a victory again, it would appear, for Poland, who had that last place in their previous outing. But Maxim Drabik now comes to the inside and wins heat 3. Drabik over Hansen, Patrick Hansen, with Matthew Gilmore in third and Kyle Bickley out out the back. So Poland gets 3 points from race number 3, and that was fairly emphatic there as far as Maxim Drabik was concerned, because Patrick Hansen off the inside made the gate, but Maxim Drabik just went wide off the second turn, picked up speed down the back straight, clearly through into the third bend, and then checked off, went clear and won. Big win for Maxim Drabik, taking Poland back to the top of the standings here tonight.
Patrick Hansen from yellow, Matthew Gilmore. Moving on to heat number 4, riding in red, Frederick Jacobsen. In blue, Drew Kemp. In white, Dominic Camara. In yellow, Kyle Thompson. Kyle Thompson in yellow, and the riders on red.
So heat number 4, things really starting to heat up here in Manchester. The man out for Great Britain this time is the young man.
So Maxim Drabik winning heat 3 from Patrick Hansen, with Matthew Gilmore in third place, and that leaves Poland on 6 points, with Great Britain on 5, Denmark and Australia both on 3. Here we go with heat number 4, and coming to tapes in blue for Great Britain is Drew Kemp. He has the inside gate. 1 minute remaining on the clock as the Polish rider Dominic Kubera slots into the outside gate. Frederick Jacobsen going for Denmark, and it's Kai Thompson going for Australia. As far as Dominic Kubera is concerned, he is the Polish captain. He's actually a year younger than the likes of Drabik and Smektala, but very much the man in form, Kubera. 15-point maximum in the qualifier when Poland got through at Daugavpils. Also scored heavily in Lublin, was actually the possible meeting winner, and still picked up the joint most points in the meeting in the first round of the individual series. Scored 17 in that meeting, along with the meeting winner Gleb Chuganov, and Kubera failed to score in the final, so scored 17 for his first 6, and is really flying with Lezno off the outside gate. Drew Kemp in blue, riding of course for Sheffield in the Championship and for Kent in the National League. Jacobsen off gate 2 and Thompson off gate 3. Here we go with heat 4 in Manchester. Still on hold with the referee, and when they go, and off the outside gate, Dominic Kubera. Good one by Drew Kemp as well. Kubera goes wide on the second member. Drew Kemp here has the advantage. Kubera going right him on bench 3 and 4. Thompson off, simply move there to Maxim Drabik. Drew Kemp tries to come back. It's still tight indeed as they start that to Dominic Kubera with the advantage. Jacobsen comes steaming down the inside. Drew Kemp on the outside. He's got plenty of pace, but rather got beaten up there. Now could come in the threat from Kai Thompson around turns 3 and 4. It's Dominic Kubera here with the lead for Poland, but Jacobsen running hard in second place. Drew Kemp in third. Kubera's got the lead, but there is plenty of pace here about Frederick Jacobsen in second place, and there could still be a challenge with just over a lap to go. He holds the inside line. Kubera's not got quite the pace that Drabik had in the previous race, but still has the advantage. They start the last lap. Drew Kemp has the third place, holding it over Kai Thompson, but Thompson tried to make ground here on the final lap, but it looks like it's going to be 3 wins out of 4 for Poland. Looking at Dominic Kubera, the captain, winning heat number 4. Kubera over Jacobsen, with Drew Kemp in third place for Great Britain and Kai Thompson out the back. So once again we see the inside gate making the advantage from the start. Good start by Drew Kemp, but Dominic Kubera really underlining his form this season so far, and again an experienced rider at this level of the sport. He came quickly through around the outside on turns 3 and 4, and Dominic Kubera gets the win out of heat 4. Frederick Jacobsen followed him through in second place, leaving Drew Kemp to finish third, with Kai Thompson out the back. Kubera the winner, Jacobsen second, Kemp was third.
Dominic's winning time was 61.79, 61.79. Second in red was Frederick Jacobsen, and third in blue was Drew Kemp. The score after 4 heats: Denmark currently on 6 points, Great Britain 6 points, Poland 9, Australia 3. Track rating time now. We'll be back with heat 5 in a few moments' time.
So 4 heats gone, and Poland with their 3 victories so far, they are on 9 points. A tie for second with Denmark and Great Britain both on 6, and Australia are on 3.
Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out,
Madison in number 5.
Is the action picking up here in Manchester after 4 races? It's Team Poland leading the way on 9 points. Denmark and Great Britain tied on 6 at the moment, with Australia on 3 points. And Dan Healy, a race winner in his first appearance here at the National Speedway Stadium. Looking to do the same again here. A few weeks ago, he was part of the No Speedway training program, taking notes from the World Championship.
So Poland with 9, Denmark and Great Britain with 6, and Australia with 3 as we go into the second block of races. And Great Britain have their opening race winner on track here, Dan Bewley, who goes in blue off gate 3, but tough competition with Maxim Drabek off the inside in white for Poland. Kai Thompson goes in yellow for Australia off gate 2, and it's Jonas Jeppesen in red off the outside for the Danes. As I mentioned at the start, Poland very much the favourites here. They've won this competition for the last 5 seasons, would you believe, and they've really had very much the edge since this competition first started back in the mid-2000s, was when it really kicked off. And Poland, the absolute dominant force, but Denmark have won it themselves, and then most recently in 2013 when they edged out the Poles at Podium. Would be quite some story if the Poles were beaten here, but we'll see. They've won 3 of the first 4 races, and they have Maxim Drabek here off the inside in white. But Dan Bewley for Great Britain, for a race winner. It's well wide, they go away, and Maxim Drabek off the inside makes it, turns away, and that blocks the run there of Dan Bewley. And now Drabek goes round the outside of Thompson. That was a dominant performance there by Maxim Drabek, really looking out for what to do there. Wasn't too concerned about the Australian, knew where the rider was, and Maxim Drabek leads, and crucially as far as Poland are concerned, the 2 nations who are nearest to them in terms of the overall score chart are in 3rd and 4th places, with Jeppesen trying to make a challenge here on Kai Thompson. Thompson swings out wide off there for that might allow Jeppesen to come on the inside, and it does. So Denmark move through into 2nd place, although Thompson will try and hit back off the 2nd bend, but really Great Britain need Dan Bewley here in the equation on the last lap, so he's trying the inside now, but so far Kai Thompson maintains that 3rd place. Big one down the inside, going to the last lap. He's blocked off though by the Australian Maxim Drabek, away and gone out in front. Jeppesen in 2nd place, and Dan Bewley will give it one last go around turns 3 and 4. Can he turn back? Drabek gets the win, and Bewley gets 3rd. Bewley gets 3rd there on the inside against Kai Thompson, so he gets 1 place back and finishes 1 place behind Jonas Jeppesen. If you feel that Poland are the likely clear winners here, and that it could be Denmark and Great Britain fighting for a silver here, then at least Bewley from Great Britain's point of view has pulled a point back there on the last bend of heat number 5, because both Jeppesen and Bewley fighting their way through past Kai Thompson in the latter part of that race. Maxim Drabek was in control from the start there. Kai Thompson made a good start, but Drabek then, in making his move towards the outside, really stuffed the run of Dan Bewley. Bewley left at the back and chasing, and he gets the 3rd place in the end. But Drabek the winner over Jeppesen, with Bewley in 3rd.
Moving on to heat for 6, running in red for Denmark, Mats Hansen. In blue, Robert Lambert. In white, Dominic Kubera. And in yellow, Matthew Gilmore. That's your rider for heat number 6. And the riders already underneath to heat 1.
So Maxim Drabek, the winner of Heat 5. Jonas Jeppesen was 2nd, with Dan Bewley in 3rd. Poland now on 12 points, Denmark on 8, Great Britain on 7, and Australia on 3. Heat 6 next up, with Mads Hansen going for Denmark. Robert Lambert back on track for Great Britain, going off the outside gate this time. It's Dominic Kubera going for Poland, and Matthew Gilmore rides for Australia. Gilmore picked up a point in his first ride. I mentioned his showing in Vetlanda, where he scored 10 points at reserve. That was also crucial in Australia, beating Sweden for 2nd place in that meeting, and also not just doing that, but overhauling the points total of Latvia in their semi-final to qualify Australia as the best 2nd place nation. Great Britain, of course, seeded through to the final as hosts. Poland were always likely winners in Daugavpils. They scored 49 points to Latvia's 36, but as I mentioned, Denmark scoring 50 in Vetland and Australia scoring 40, and that put them through as the best second place team. But it is a step up as far as the Australians are concerned when you think of the previous years, likes of Jack Holder and Brady Kurtz and Max Frick, too old to compete now. So it's very much the next generation of Australians here tonight. Mads Hansen for Denmark off the inside gate. Dominic Kibera in white off gate 2. Matthew Gilmore yellow off gate 3. And Great Britain's Robert Lambert goes in blue off the outside. He's number 2, gets on the way. Lambert makes one good one there from the outside, but Dominic Kibera has been making super fast starts of late. He's got the advantage, and now Lambert will chase him up the back straight for the first time. It's Kibera from Lambert picking up real drive into mid 3. Scrap over third place. That's going to get tight, and in defence and down goes Matthew Gilmore. And I think the race will be stopped there. Wheel to wheel here, Dominic Kibera and Robert Lambert. Gilmore's getting up. I'm not sure he'll do so in time. He is. Matt Gilmore's done superbly, and Lambert gets round the outside of Kibera with a fantastic ride. Lambert leads, and well done to young Gilmore for clearing the track. That was quite a fall he took. Robert Lambert goes round Dominic Kibera and takes the lead for Great Britain with Mads Hansen in third place. Super stuff in race 6. Robert Lambert fighting hard with Dominic Kibera, and Matthew Gilmore, who clobbered the fence on turns 3 and 4, did well to recover the bike and get on the infield. Lambert now streaking clear in race number 6, and Kibera coming under a bit of pressure here from Mads Hansen for that second spot into events 3 and 4 for the last time. All action stuff there in race number 6, and the Great Britain captain Robert Lambert wins it superbly. Lambert over Kibera with Mads Hansen in third place, and Matthew Gilmore crashing out. Well, dramatic stuff there with the fast skating Kibera getting into bend 1 and 2 in front. Lambert trying the outside straight away. They were wheel to wheel for a lap or so, and whilst that was all going on, Gilmore clobbered the fence on turns 3 and 4, battling with Mads Hansen, and I was surprised he got up from it straight away. Not only that, but cleared the track and did, and that allowed the time for Robert Lambert to fly around the outside of Dominic Kibera and take victory out of heat 6, and a big 3 points for Great Britain as they go back in front of Denmark in the overall standings. So Lambert wins heat 6, second place Dominic Kibera, and third Mads Hansen.
Robert's winning time 61.59, 61.59. Second in white was Dominic Kibera, and third in red, Mads Hansen. Moving on to heat number 7, riding in red for Denmark, Patrick Hansen. In blue for Great Britain, Drew Kemp. In white for Poland, Bartosz Smetala. And in yellow for Australia, Jamie Lindsay. That's your life for heat number 7. That's 2 minutes for our 4 riders in heat number 7.
So superb win for Robert Lambert there in race 6, passing Dominic Kibera, finishing in second place, Mads Hansen in third. And that means that Poland are on 14 points, Great Britain on 10, Denmark on 9, Australia still on 3. Remember that the tactical subs and jokers are available when you're 8 points or more down, so Mark Lemon, the Australian boss, able to look at those options, but I'm sure he'll give his a bit of time here, no rush, and there won't be any aspirations, I think, from Australia of beating Poland, for example, but it's what they can get, and can they get into the Denmark-Great Britain battle as the meeting goes on. So Patrick Hansen rides in red off the outside here for Denmark in heat 7. It's Drew Kemp, quite encouraging first ride for him. He rides in blue, so he made a decent fist of it. Blue off gate 3 there for Drew Kemp. Bartosz Smetala in white off gate 2 for the Poles, and off the inside gate Jamie Lindsay in yellow for Australia. The Australian skipper, and clearly their most senior rider. Only his first year in the UK, but has gained experience with Legno, and has been part of this squad for a while. Part of the Speedway Nations and World Cup squads too in the past. Jamie Lindsay is under 21 competitor, so quite familiar with these sort of surroundings. And did win a couple of races in London 3 weeks ago in the individual series too, Jamie Lindsay. Inside gate here, home rider. What can he do against Bartosz Smetala, who goes next to him in white? Off gate 2. So Drew Kemp very cleverly cuts back for the inside, but Spectara sweeps around the outside, and Bartosz Spectara leads, and Kemp goes to the back because steaming through is Patrick Hansen into third place. Spectara race leads for Poland. Patrick Hansen in second place, going in front of David Lindsay. The best start from the inside. Lindsay will try and go back round the outside here of Hansen. They're tight off the second bend. He's just run out of room somewhat. Now he cuts back for the inside. Jamin Lindsay. Spectara leads, and Lindsay will come through on the inside here of Hansen. They're having a real ding-dong for second and third, with Great Britain's Drew Kemp out the back of this one. They're still scuffing away behind Bartosz Spectara as Lindsay maintains second, but lifts somewhat down the back straight. Might be a chance for Patrick Hansen to hit back around turn 3 and 4, especially as Lindsay locks up and now lifts again. He knows where Patrick Hansen is. Hansen pulling all kinds of shapes to try and get past him, trying to move through on the inside. They're almost wheel to wheel. Bartosz Spectara out in front, and Jamin Lindsay here may well hang on for second place. Spectara wins it. Second place will be Jamin Lindsay, and Patrick Hansen in third over Drew Kemp. Poland get 3 more points from heat number 7, and Drew Kemp not scoring for Great Britain, so Patrick Hansen battling hard with Jamin Lindsay gets a point for Denmark to again pull them level I should say, with Great Britain. But Smektala, the under-21 world champion in 2018, defending that title this year, and there are a good contingent of Polish fans here at the National Speedway Stadium this evening, and they enjoyed that one from Bartosz Smektala, winning heat 7 from Jamin Lindsay, with Patrick Hansen in third place.
61.88, 61.88. Second in yellow was Jamin Lindsay. Third in red, Patrick Hansen. Winning time 61.88. Moving on to heat number 8. Riding in red for Denmark, Fredrik Jakobsen. In blue, Kyle Bickley. In white, Victor Lampart. In yellow, Jordan Stewart. The riders will win a 2-minute warning for heat number 8.
Heat number 8, and we are cracking on here in Manchester for Team Poland, Victor Lampart.
So Bartosz Smektala winning heat 7 from Jamin Lindsay, with Patrick Hansen in third place. Poland move on to 17 points. Great Britain and Denmark both on 10, and Australia on 5. Heat 8 next up, and 3 riders at the start line with just over a minute to go on the clock, and those 3 at the start line are Victor Lampart, who failed to score first time out for Poland. He's off the inside in white. Next to him in yellow is Jordan Stewart, who also failed to score in his first ride. Fredrik Jakobsen for Denmark, a second place for his opening outing, and it's Kyle Bickley for Great Britain, who is just being pushed off at the pit gate area. He makes his way around. He failed to score in his first ride. Of course, all 4 teams do have reserves here tonight that they can bring in whenever they want. Tim Sorensen for Denmark, Leon Flint for Great Britain, Michael Grukowski for Poland, and Zach Cook for Australia are the reserves. We wait to see whether we'll see them, but more likely is the team managers will be looking at their options when they are 8 or more points behind the leaders, Poland. Certainly Mark Lemon will be looking at that for Australia, Neil Vacher as well, Henrik Muller for Denmark, looking to put their top riders out for double points if required. At the moment, that gap is 7 between the leaders and the tie for second place. Clock counting right down to 0 as the riders come into line 4. Heat 8, Lampart off the inside, Stewart, gate 2, Jakobsen, gate 3, Bickley on the outside. By Victor Lampart against the bend in front. Lampart race leads, turning back. It's Jordan Stewart off the second bend. Jordan Stewart will try and race around the back straight. He's got there though. It's Lampart who leads. The scrap is on for third and fourth as Fredrik Jakobsen goes down the inside of Carl Bickley. Bickley trying to get back there into lap 2, and Bickley on the inside. Jordan Stewart around the outside. Jakobsen in the middle, and Bickley almost gets through on the inside, but just gets squeezed out by Fredrik Jakobsen. Big scrap for second, third and fourth, but Victor Lampart failed to score first time out for Poland. Certainly putting that right. Meanwhile, Fredrik Jakobsen battling away there with Jordan Stewart. They are tight on bends 1 and 2. Jordan Stewart maintains that second place for Australia, but Jakobsen is all over him round bends 3 and 4 as he tries to take it wide. There's plenty of space around there, but quick line on the inside by Jordan Stewart for Australia. in. Now he swings out wide. Jakobsen going really wide on bend 2. Can't quite hold it there in terms of momentum. Lampard still leads to Poland and it's away and clear. Victor Lampard for Poland, winning heat 8. Second place, good ride by Jordan Stewart, and third for Fredrik Jakobsen, and no points after a big effort by Kyle Bickley on the opening couple of laps. He fails to score, and Great Britain lose a bit more ground there on Denmark in heat 8. Victor Lampard is the youngest member of this Polish quartet. In fact, he's the youngest member of the quintet, 18 years of age. So whenever you think that the likes of Drabik and Smektala are going to be over 21 next year, well, here's the next lad on the production line, and doubtless there's further more to come. Lampard winning heat 8 in convincing style ahead of that scrap for second place. Jordan Stewart second, and Fredrik Jakobsen was third.
Winning time 62.28, 62.28. Second in yellow was Jordan Stewart, and third in red, Fredrik Jakobsen. Well, the Poles certainly flying out in front at the moment. They certainly are a bunch of talented riders. Team scores after 8 heats at the moment. Team Denmark are on 11 points. Team Great Britain 10 points. Poland on 20 points. And Team Australia 7. So that's your progressive scores at the moment. Heat number 9 coming up.
So heat 8, Victor Lampard the winner, Jordan Stewart second, Fredrik Jakobsen third, Poland on to 20, Denmark on 11, Great Britain 10, Australia on 7. Heat number 9 sees Great Britain use the tactical joker. Robert Lambert replaces Kyle Bickley. He goes off the inside gate in blue. Any points he scores are doubled. One tactical joker available per team if you are 8 points or more behind the leading nation. You can do subsequent tactical substitutes. So for example, Dan Bewley, who you might expect to later in the meeting potentially to take an additional ride as a tactical substitute, it wouldn't be doubled, but you can do that. This is the big one as far as Great Britain are concerned. Robert Lambert going for double as the joker in blue. Let's have a look at the opposition. Jonas Jeppesen riding in red alongside him on gate 2. Dominic Kubera, and don't forget that Lambert had a big scrap with Kubera in his previous ride. Got round him on the second lap in the end. Well, Kubera is in white this time. He's in white off gate 3 this time. And Jamin Lindsay goes in yellow off the outside. So he, of course, is the Australians' best rider. So always hard to know when you're going to put your joker in, but certainly the discussions we were having up here on the gantry during the grading break were that we thought that Neil Batcher would make the move in this race, and that is what's turned out to happen. Robert Lambert off the inside gate going for double here for Great Britain. A really crucial race in their battle, certainly with Denmark. Heat number 9 gets underway. Lambert makes a good start. Lambert's got the gate there. Kubera's switching back quickly to the inside. Lambert's going wide, but Kubera's got the lead. Lambert with great speed around the outside. Lambert storms to the front of the race. Big scrap on for third place with Jamin Lindsay going wide, but Robert Lambert here has the advantage. Dominic Kubera in front. Lindsay goes on the inside there, and Jeppesen. Denmark might go to the back. Jeppesen going around the outside for third place once again. They got mighty close to Dominic Kubera around 3 and 4. Jonas Jeppesen, can he hold that round the third and fourth? But he might lose out to Lindsay. He does. Lindsay coming through the third. Different lines being taken. Lindsay giving Jeppesen a hard line, and Jeppesen gets back round the outside. Lindsay again trying to come through. All over third place here with Robert Lambert trying to bank a big 6 as far as Great Britain are concerned. He's got the advantage over Kubera. Still second next to third and fourth, as this time Jeppesen drops all over in front of Jamin Lindsay, and should get the point there for Denmark, but it should be all 6 here for Great Britain. Robert Lambert, superb once again. Lambert wins it over Dominic Kubera. Third place, Jonas Jeppesen with Jamin Lindsay at the back. 6 points for Great Britain in heat 9. That's what you want from the joker, and that's what Robert Lambert's given them. The under-21 British champion, the reigning British champion, and a big weekend to come for him in Germany, in Güstrow, tomorrow in the European Championship, but doing his bit for Great Britain on the 21 tonight. Robert Lambert takes 6 points on the joker ride in heat 9. Had to do it from the back. Dominic Kubera, a very clever switch there on the inside. inside as he turned back on turns 1 and 2, but Lambert had the pace to get around him on the back straight into bends 3 and 4, and Lambert takes 6 points for Great Britain, with Kibera in second place. He takes 2 points there for Poland. Big scrap it was indeed for third place between Jeppesen and Lidze, and Jeppesen got it for the point for Denmark.
Riding in red, Mads Hansen. In blue for Great Britain, Drew Kemp. In white for Poland, Maxim Drabik. And in yellow for Team Australia, Jordan Stewart. That's 2 minutes. 2 minutes for all 4 riders.
Heat number 10 then, and the man in white, Maxim Drabik, great lead there, and he goes cheering their boys on here. That moves over by Team Great Britain, closes the gap on the leaders here in Manchester. Can Aaron Drabik do anything about that in response? GB just having a few last minutes adjustments over in the blue velvet colour.
So Robert Lambert taking maximum 6 points from Heat 9 for Great Britain. Dominic Kibera in second place. Jonas Jeppesen was third. That moves Poland on to 22. Great Britain on 16 now, with Denmark on 12 and Australia with 7. Of course, Denmark have that joker remaining, so they can score double. Hard to know as far as Henrik Muller is concerned which of his riders he would use, because Denmark so far have not won a race. They've also not run a last place, so very consistent seconds and thirds, but no one really standing out for Denmark at this stage. Heat 10 is next up. We're approaching the halfway stage of the meeting, and it's Mads Hansen in red for Denmark. It's Drew Kemp for Great Britain in blue, Maxim Drabik in white for Poland, and Jordan Stewart goes in yellow for Australia. The Australians are 5 points behind the Danes, so still in touch, bearing in mind they've got their joker on the way. Australia have had a few second places in recent years, but as I mentioned, the riders who are with them this year, not quite, with all respect, to the same level of what they had, for example, 2 years ago in Rybnik, or 3 years ago in Norrköping, where they picked up silvers. Clock has reached 0 and riders not ready, and the clock is counting down again, so very bizarre. That's certainly not being applied the same way as the Grand Prix, but we go into heat number 10. Continue, and Drabik missed the start. This could be interesting now. Maxim Drabik at the back, and there's 3 riders all in a line there as Drabik tries to burst through and finds his way blocked. So it's Mads Hansen out in front here for Denmark, with Jordan Stewart in second, and Maxim Drabik is the outstanding rider in the race. So far wide, and the back of the way is completely blocked here for Maxim Drabik. Can he turn back now for the inside? Can he go past Jordan Stewart into the third and fourth bend? It's Mads Hansen who's checked out here. Drabik holds the inside line to try and make his way through. Drew Kemp holds the way for now. Drabik turns back and goes through from fourth to second, and Jordan Stewart trying to go round Drew Kemp on turns 1 and 2. It's brutal stuff here as Jordan Stewart again almost clobbers Maxim Drabik, and Drew Kemp back on the inside. Mads Hansen out in front, and Drabik's not nailed down that second place just yet, because here comes Drew Kemp on the last lap they go. Fantastic stuff, and Kemp here is back inside Drabik. Drabik is focused on Jordan Stewart, and Drew Kemp's gone past him. Drabik goes back round in events 3 and 4. Mads Hansen, forget him, he's out in front. Drabik will get the second. That's a great ride by Drew Kemp in third place. Super ride by Drew Kemp. That is a massive ride by Drew Kemp. He only gets 1 point for it, but it's a great effort by Kemp, really giving it to Maxim Drabik. Drabik in the end got second. Have to say the start was very messy indeed. I thought they might get pulled back, because certainly Jordan Stewart appeared to be moving at the start, but the referee let it go, and there was some tremendous racing there. Mads Hansen winning it for Denmark's first win of the meeting. Maxim Drabik really had to force his way through for second place, and Drew Kemp gets a very well-deserved third spot.
Second in white was Maxim Drabik, and third in blue, Drew Kemp. And I can tell you there has been a warning to the rider in yellow for moving at the start. That's just been issued, a warning to the rider in yellow for moving at the start. Moving on to meeting number 11, riding in red for Team Denmark, Patrick Hansen. In blue for Team Great Britain, Robert Lambert. In white for Team Poland, Victor Lampart. And in yellow for Team Australia, Kai Thompson. That's your line of heat, number 11. last 2 minutes, 2 minutes for all 4 riders.
Team number 11 in these Europeans giving it absolute everything for their nations tonight.
So Mads Hansen, the winner of Heat 10, second Maxim Drabik, third Drew Kemp, Jordan Stewart at the back, and Jordan Stewart then did receive a warning from the referee for movement at the start. I have to say I don't like that. I think it was a messy enough start to call it back, but the referee electing to let it run and then warning Jordan Stewart after the race had finished. The effect of that is that Poland have 22 points with Great Britain on 17, Denmark on 15 and Australia, they have 7. Sorry, Poland on 24, I should say. Let's add 22, add 2 to 22 and get 24. So Poland on 24, Great Britain on 17, Denmark on 15, Australia on 7. We are wondering when Denmark will play their joke up, but it's not happening yet. Heat number 11 is next up with Patrick Hansen in red. Robert Lambert back out in blue for Great Britain. 7 points behind Poland and 2 in front of Denmark. So Patrick Hansen red, Robert Lambert blue, Victor Lampard in white. Kai Thompson goes in yellow for Australia. Poland with that 7-point margin at this stage, victorious on all manner of different circuits over the years. Smektala involved in 3 of them so far, with Drabik involved in 3 of them. Drabik rode in this meeting way back in 2015 in Mildura, still aged within the age limit at 21 years of age. Just shows how much experience they've got at this level. But it's the youngest rider on the poles, Victor Lampard here. It goes up against Robert Lambert, and riding he does very well indeed in Poland for London. Here we go with race number 11 and Lampard. Lambert will pin it to the inside though, into bets 1 and 2, and Lambert gets the advantage. Lampard tries to turn back, shooting through here is Kai Thompson trying to put a challenge in on Victor Lampard, but Lambert has the advantage over Victor Lampard. Lambert taking it really wide there. Round bend 3 and 4. For Great Britain, Patrick Hansen for Denmark out the back here, and this could be a massive result for Great Britain if they're aiming for silver. I'm sure they're aiming for gold, but certainly as far as silver is concerned, the battle with Denmark. Well, Robert Lambert in front, 10 for 3 points, and Patrick Hansen no score for Denmark. We saw Mads Hansen become Denmark's first race winner. Well, Patrick Hansen could become Denmark's first no scorer in heat number 11. Robert Lambert has cleared off. He's well clear of Victor Lampard. That will keep Poland happy enough in second place. Great Britain will get 1 point back on Poland, but Denmark at the back here is important for the meeting. Kai Thompson holding a decent third place here. Patrick Hansen challenging hard. Robert Lambert comes around turns 3 and 4 for an emphatic victory. Lambert wins race number 11 in second place for Lampard. It's third for Kai Thompson, and Patrick Hansen runs a last place there for Denmark. And Denmark do have the joker to come, but they find themselves now 5 points behind Great Britain with 11 heats gone. Robert Lambert really showing his stuff here. That's his 3rd win out of 4. He was beaten by Smektala in the opening race, but Lambert winning as a tactical joker in heat 9, and now in heat number 11 as well. Gets the applause of the fans, as does Lampard from the Polish crowd. It's a win there for Robert Lambert over Victor Lampard, with Kai Thompson taking a good 3rd place there for Australia.
The official result of heat number 11 was a win in blue for Robert Lambert. Robert's winning time 61.69, 61.69. Second in white for Poland, Victor Lampard, and third in yellow, Kai Thompson. The riders already under the 2-minute warning for heat number 12. The riders as follows: riding in red, Fredrik Jakobsen; in blue, Dan Hewley; in white, Bartosz Smektala; and in yellow, Matthew Gilmore. I apologise, in yellow, Matthew Gilmore. That's your man of the heat.
Lambert the winner of race number 11, Lampard in second, Thompson in third. So Poland now on 26, Great Britain on 20, Denmark on 15 and Australia on 8. On we go to heat 12, and no changes here. The teams that are 8 points behind the leaders, so nothing for Denmark, nothing for Australia. So you have to believe they'll be doing it in their final. Can't make tactical changes in heats 17 to 20. You can put the reserve in, you can't do any more than that. Heat 12, Fredrik Jakobsen goes in red for Denmark. It's Dan Bewley in blue off gate 2 for Great Britain. Bartosz Smektala in white for Poland off gate 3. And Matthew Gilmore, good to see him back after his crash in his previous ride. He rides in yellow off the inside gate. Denmark are 5 points behind Great Britain. Great Britain are 6 behind Poland. So Great Britain, I'm sure, as soon as they go 8 points behind, or if they do go 8 points behind, they'll look at an extra ride probably for Dan Bewley. Can't do it for now. Denmark have got the tactical joker available, and maybe the events of the previous block of races, or this block of races, maybe we'll see Mads Hansen replacing Patrick Hansen. Hard to say. Certainly on the basis of the last 2 heats, we've just seen Mads win a race and Patrick come in last. That could be a possibility, but they'll be looking at that as they go into the break for grading after heat 12. This is heat 12. Poland 6 points in front of Great Britain. That's really on track here for TV, and away they go. Gate 2, and Bewley's got the gate there ahead of Bartosz Smektala, but Fredrik Jakobsen's got plenty of speed too around the outside. Jakobsen finds the way blocked. He's trying to go around Smektala here, and he's done so, and that will take points off Poland if the Smektala will try back on the inside. He's got back inside Jakobsen. It's still Dan Bewley for Great Britain. Smektala holds the inside line. Bewley riding the outside line, but the track knowledge is with Dan Bewley. Bewley will go back round Bartosz Smektala. They had some great scraps in Leszno last year in the individual series, and Bewley still race leads, and Smektala is picking up pace on the inside. And Smektala just leads into lap 3, but Bewley making more and more speed around the outside, and Smektala will have to move out in to block him. He doesn't quite do so though. Bewley right round the outside. Will the outside prove the faster way? Smektala moves a bit mid-track off the fourth, but it's still more from Smektala over Dan Bewley. Bewley is totally focused on that outside run. Can he score around the outside here of Bartosz Smektala? Smektala maintains the advantage. Bewley needs one last drive around the outside. Smektala has trusted the inside of a race. Bartosz Smektala inside gets him. Bartosz Smektala over Dan Bewley. Third place, Fredrik Jakobsen over Matthew Gilmore. Intelligent stuff once again by Bartosz Smektala. He trusted the inside throughout that race. He just moved slightly off the curb on laps 3 and 4, particularly off the third and fourth bend, just to edge things out somewhat. Dan Bewley right round the board throughout the entire 4 laps. Could not quite get above Bartosz Smektala. More terrific racing in heat 12. A win for Poland, a win for Bartosz Smektala, and a super ride for Dan Bewley, chasing throughout the race. Smektala over Bewley, and Fredrik Jakobsen third.
Second in blue, giving it everything there, Dan Bewley. And third in red, Fredrik Jakobsen. So, the scores after tell you there, the rider in blue will be excluded from the arena. The rider in blue excluded from touching the tapes.
Well, that is the referee's decision. The blue exclusion lights on there for Team Great Britain's Kyle Whitley, deemed to have touched the tapes prior to the referee releasing them. So he will not take part in the rerun of heat number 13. young Kyle Bickley, his own toughest critic, but he is a very, very promising rider. Manchester, let's have a round of applause. Come on, let's hear it for Kyle Bickley. He really is a talented young man.
And that's 2 minutes for the rerun of Heat 13.
So then, that leaves just 3 riders only in the rerun of Heat number 13. They're representative from Great Britain, so Denmark, Poland and Australia should all be at least in the points. Assuming, God forbid, nobody comes to grief. Bartosz Spectator, apologies, Poland. Bartosz Spectator, divided in the white helmet colour. Zach Cook, the reserve replacement for Team Australia in the yellow helmet colour. And Matt Hansen, the man for Team Denmark in red. Let's give this one more try then. Heat number 13, 3 riders only.
Bartosz's winning time, 63.04, 63.04. Second in red was Matt Hansen, and third in yellow, Zach Cook. Moving on to Heat 14, there is another change in this heat, and it's in yellow, and it will be a tactical joker for Jamin Midley. Jamin Midley, tactical joker in yellow. If he will score 100 points, should he score in the team's race. Sing-song going on in the stadium today. Well, it's good to know you're here at Poland. Tactical Joker, Jamie Lindsay. That's your line for heat 14. superb win in blue for Dan Bewley. That was a winning time was 62.84, 62.84. Second in yellow was Jamie Lindsay, scoring 4 points, Tactical Joker. And third in red, superb third place there, Scoring 2 points was Frederick Jakobsen. So moving on to Heat 15, extra time book is being allowed for Dan Bewley, 2 on the trot here. Riding in red for Denmark, Patrick Hansen. In blue, Dan Bewley. In white, Dominic Kubera. And in yellow, Jordan Stewart. That's your line of Heat 15. The Brits back in it. Let's see what happens.
Yes, they certainly are. They claw back 3 points on Poland, but the men in white still hold a 7-point advantage over the Brits. They currently are in the gold medal position where everyone is fighting to be. The GB boys currently on for silver, but we have 6 heats to go yet, and absolutely anything can happen.
There has been a change to Heat 15, and it will be a tactical substitute ride in red for Mads Hansen. Mads Hansen, tactical substitute ride in red for Team Denmark. Seeing as the Polish fans are singing this, we might as well play the song. Well, that's 2 minutes for the lineup of Heat 15. Mads Hansen, tactical substitute riding red. Dan Bewley in blue, Dominic Kubera in white. Jordan Stewart in yellow. official result of heat 15 was a winner points for Dominic Cubera. Dominic's winning time 63.78, 63.78. Second in win was Matt Hansen, and third in blue, Dan Bewley. Moving on to heat 16, running in red for Team Denmark, Fredrik Jakobsen. In blue, Robert Lambert. In white, Max Dravic. And in yellow, Jaden Whitty. And that's 2 minutes for all 4 riders. The official result of heat 16 was a win in blue for Robert Lambert. Robert's winning time 61.91, 61.91. Second in white was Max Dravic, and third in yellow, Jaden Whitty. So, 16 heats completed, the progressive score at the moment with 4 heats to go. Team Denmark 22 points, Team Great Britain 29 points, Team Poland 37 points, Team Australia 14. So, 4 races to go, it's the nominated races. The rules are explained for the nominated races in tonight's programme, but the team currently in 4th position chooses their riders first for each heat, followed by the team in 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So, now let them choose Australia's riders first for all 4 heats, followed by Denmark, then Britain and then Poland. 4 races to go, Poland still down the long, still in the grabs, although Poland in very strong performance. second, 63 seconds. Second in white is Dominic Cubero. Third, yellow. 18 and running in red for Team Denmark, Mads Hansen. In blue, Drew Kemp. In white, Bartosz Spectala. And in yellow, Jordan Stewart. Again, I will try and give the Heat 19 lineup as soon as I can when I get the opportunity. When the riders are out on track, it is hard for you fans to hear. I have heard, so we'll give you that as soon as we can. The official results of Heat 18, what a Heat of Speedway that was a win in yellow for Jordan Stewart. Believe it or not, the winning time is exactly the same as Heat 17, 63 seconds, 63 seconds. Second in red was Mads Hansen, third in white, Bartosz Spectala. So moving on to Heat 19, the lineup for this race, riding in red, Jonas Jefferson. In blue, Dan Bewley. In white, Victor Lampard. And in yellow, James Linton. Out there. In red, Jonas Jefferson. Blue, Dan Bewley. White, Victor Lampard. And in yellow, James Linton. So the result of heat number 19 was a winning yellow for Jamin Litty. Jamin's winning time is 62.25, 62.25. Second in red was Jonas Jefferson. Third in blue, Dan Bewley. Well, it goes to the last heat to see who gets the silver and the bronze. Running in red will be Frederick Jakobsen. In blue, Robert Lambert. In white will be Maxim Dravic. And in yellow for Australia, Zach Cook in yellow for Australia. So just to repeat, I didn't have much time to give it that line. Frederick Jakobsen in red, Robert Lambert in blue, Maxim Dravic white, and in yellow, Zach Cook. That's your lineup for E20.
Well, it's been an awesome day at Speedway, and after the meeting is done, folks, there'll be one representative from each nation joining us at the feed agreement suite for the post-meeting press conference. All representing their team under 21 title in 2019. It only remains for Denmark and GB tidying up the details here in E20. Zach Cook, Robert Lambert, Frederick Jefferson, and Maxim Dravic for your entertainment, folks. It's been an awesome night.
we'll just get the official verdict there from the referee and fulfill the FIM people up here in the box. The official result of heat number 20 was a win in blue for Robert Lambert. Robert's winning time fast at this stage of the meeting, 61.56, 61.56. Second in red was Frederick Jacobsen, and third in white, Maxim Dravic. The winning time again, 61.56. Well, the official final scores are as follows. Team Australia finished on 21 points. In third place, Denmark with 31. In second place, great result there, Team Great Britain with 33 points. But its congratulations in its first place to Poland with 41 points. Congratulations, they take the gold medal here this evening. The action, nothing short of breathtaking at times here at the National Speedway Stadium. Just before the Polish guys come round, I will confirm the individual scores with you. Frederick Jacobsen finished on 8, Patrick Hansen 6, Mads Hansen 11, Rory Shepperton 6. For Great Britain, Robert Lambert finished on 20 points, Dan Bewley 11, Drew Kemp 2, Kyle
So as the top three nations make their way around the National Speedway Stadium circuit, let's run through tonight's final scores on score chart. The confirmed result with Poland on 41 points, Great Britain on 33, Denmark on 31, and for Australia 21. The scores for Australia: Jamin Lidsey with 12, Jordan Stewart 5, Matthew Gilmore 1, Kai Thompson 2, and Zach Cook in reserve scored 1. For Denmark in third place, Frederick Jacobsen scored 8, Patrick Hansen 6, Mads Hansen scored 11, and Jonas Jeppersen scored 6. Great Britain taking silver medals, and Robert Lambert, the outstanding rider of the meeting, 20 points from a possible 21. Dan Bewley scored 11, Drew Kemp scored 2, and I think you'll learn a lot from the meeting as well. Kyle Bickley unfortunately failed to score, and Leon Flint, despite an exciting ride in his reserve outing, he also failed to score. The victorious Poles, well, they scored 41 overall, and Maxim Dravic with 11 points, Dominik Kubera, the captain, with 12, Victor Lampart scored 5, and Bartosz Smektala scored 13. 41 points for Poland, under 21 team world champions once again. There are plenty of Polish fans here at the National Speedway Stadium, and those several have made the trip over for the weekend. There are other meetings in the UK this weekend they're going to be attending, and the Polish contingent, it feels like it's completely Polish here actually, as they take the applause of the crowd. But there's plenty of British fans here too. Union Jacks are waving for Great Britain with their second place, and Neil Vatcher delighted with the efforts of his team, and quite rightly so, because they have been excellent, and Robert Lambert has led them with real pride. He has a big night tomorrow in Gustro in the Speedway Euro Championship, but no thought of that tonight. It's been absolute determination. So Poland, Denmark and Great Britain, the top three nations, will shortly be on the podium here in Manchester. Team come together. What a team they've been. What a team. And remember, a couple of them are going over 21 come next year. And a couple of these will be back next year. they are some team, and all of these you'll see, I'm sure, in Grand Prix in years to come. So about to get the formalities underway on the podium. Team Denmark are in third place, and they've been consistent rostrum finishes down the years, and it's been tough times for Denmark as they try and recapture the glory days of Nicky Pedersen over the last few years, and these boys trying to battle on amongst strong competition, but they've shown some good stuff tonight, and certainly Mads Hansen is a rider who I think people will be looking out for after that display. Freddie Jacobsen and Jonas Jeppesen have ridden in this country before, but certainly doing their best and taking third place with Henrik Muller and also Hans Nielsen in their corner, and they take third place here tonight. They've comfortably beaten Australia, who, as we said before, they're themselves in a rebuilding process. There's going to be a big cheer now for Neil Vatcher's Great Britain side, underlining their best result in this competition for 12 years. That's some achievement, bearing in mind the strength of the polls. Great Britain has scored 33 here. Robert Lambert picked up 20 himself, but don't count out the contributions elsewhere. And Dan Bewley with a couple of fantastic rides, 11 points, and some baffling third places too from Drew Kemp. Great Britain, a really good night, a nation going the right way with what's happening at senior level. They've been impeccably decked out today, kitted out superbly in the pits and on the track. It's looked a good performance, it's been a good performance, and Great Britain, led by Robert Lambert, they are second on the rostrum here at Bellevue. But what about this Polish team? Some riders that you're going to hear a lot about for many years to come. Future Grand Prix stars, future stars of top league racing in Poland and elsewhere, no doubt. Riders who are at the peak of their game and probably still got more to come. Lots to come from these, but they've certainly shown as many expected the style we thought around this Manchester circuit, many of whom haven't ridden here before, but they've certainly taken to it on their first visit. And that victorious Polish quintet, if you include the reserve Michael Grukowski, the four who rode on the night, Maxim Drabik and Bartosz Mechtala, already world champions in this competition and individually. Victor Lampard and the captain Dominik Kubera. It's Poland who are under 21 Team World Cup champions here at Bellevue tonight. There's the trophy being lifted by the Polish team. Dominik Kubera is the captain, and it's quite a crowded scene on the rostrum there with the team managers involved. Polish national anthem rings out for the victorious under-21 riders. The skill of these riders never ceases to amaze. The level they are reaching is fantastic, and there's so much more enjoyment to come from watching these boys over the years to come. More presentations taking place with Armando Castagna presenting the bronze medals to the Danish riders. Denmark with such a proud history of World Speedway and trying to, as I say, recapture glory days. It was a long time ago since the likes of Erik Gundersen and Hans Nielsen were dominant in the sport, but Nicky Pedersen won 3 world titles himself. They've had other top boys coming through, and so how many of these will make it to that level or near that level in years to come, we'll have to wait and see. And they've certainly been working hard for their points tonight. So it is bronze medals for Denmark, it is silver for Great Britain, and I'm sure if you'd offered them that, everyone will talk about the possibility of winning on home soil. That's the dream, of course, but if you're being realistic and you know how strong the polls are, then for Great Britain to finish second in this meeting and take silvers, well, that goes down as some achievement. And Robert Lambert to score 20 out of a possible 21 in that kind of company with that kind of opposition from Poland. Well, that is quite some stuff and some achievement. And Robert Lambert and Great Britain, they have been excellent and they deserve their second place tonight.
And last but definitely not least,
but once again, we have to tip our hats to the Polish under-21s. They're following in the footsteps of some great teams, the likes of Zmarzlik and Dudek and Janowski have been through this in the past, and the current crop are doing them proud here, and no doubt in years to come there's more coming through. It's a Speedway nation that is completely on top in this form of competition, and they have been fantastic here this evening. 41 points, it's really an indication of how they've been given a race by the rest of them. They have scored more in years gone by, but they always look the likely winners here tonight, always have that margin, always have that buffer, and they are deserved world champions once again. Poland winners here in Bellevue. So final celebrations here on the rostrum at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester, and what a venue it is and what a racetrack it's what racing it provides. It's great to see International Speedway here in Manchester and the level of racing as the Polish boys spray the champagne, and a great night, a great way to end some terrific racing here, and a real sight of things to come in the sport, riders that you're going to see many years to come at the top of the sport. It's been some great stuff. Poland the deserved champions, but Great Britain taking silver medals here. We do hope you've enjoyed our coverage of tonight's meeting. There has been some great action as the celebrations continue on the centre green. As I say, we hope you've enjoyed the action, some great racing, and we hope to see you again soon. From Manchester, congratulations Poland and to Great Britain. A very good night.
Once again, congratulations to our winners. They've been fantastic this evening. Well, the meeting is officially closed here now at the National Speedway Stadium. I hope everybody has enjoyed what's been a spectacular meeting here on a Friday night at our superb racing circuit. To all you Polish fans down here, it'd be great to see you back at the National Speedway Stadium to watch.